Go back to the 1990s. We were not at war, but we had had a successful buildup in the 1980s where the military gained a lot more support in the country. The Reagan legacy was very influential, certainly on both sides of the political aisle. And one thing that President Clinton, who of course had a somewhat challenging personal history with the military and some perceived vulnerabilities, he didn't want to ever be seen as challenging military pay in a major way. And meanwhile, Congress is always pushing in the upward direction, and it was difficult to push back. And the civilian economy was doing well enough that you had some pressures to keep people in, required some targeted areas, at least, of compensation increase, even though the overall civilian-military gap had long since disappeared, and the military was not being systematically undercompensated, to the point where even this TRICARE for Life concept, paying virtually all the health care costs of retirees, became popular and became a cause célèbre in the Congress, even at a time we were not at war and these people were no longer part of our active duty military. And then, of course, in the last 10 years, we've had an all-volunteer military at war, and the last thing people have wanted to talk about is paying them less. You'll notice that today we are not talking about the Veterans Administration budget. There may be savings in there, but we are not broaching that topic because, of course, the first order assumption, at least for my sake, speak for myself, is that those benefits for our wounded veterans and for the survivors of those who have been killed, those are especially difficult to reform or curb in any way and probably should not be in general. So today we're talking about a different subset, but that by itself is politically hard enough. And you just saw what the Congress did in the last year. The administration asked for some very limited changes to compensation, and the Congress said, no, we're not even going to do that. So the topic, it's a huge amount of money, but politically it's very hard to broach this subject.